We ended our last segment in the middle of exploring the question of when. When is help most likely to be given? So let's pick up there with that list and add to it. We are also more likely to help when we are in a good mood. The Tips and Weather study found that servers receive better tips on sunny days. Where would you expect this effect to be the strongest, for indoor or al fresco dining? Al fresco, of course. This picture, by the way, is of my favorite restaurant in Tempe called the House of Tricks. In the department store study, researchers had a confederate put the department store salespersons in a good mood, neutral mood, or bad mood. In a good mood by stating, "I'm so impressed with the service at the store." In a neutral mood with a neutral statement. And in a bad mood by stating, "I am so disappointed with the service at the store." Then another confederate asked the service persons for help finding a non-existent item. Those who were put into a positive mood were by far the most helpful. Those put in a negative mood, by far the least. Researchers confirmed that we can conclude that a good mood increases helping, but further specified that with a bad mood, it can go either way. It can actually increase helping because sometimes helping makes us feel better, or decrease it because sometimes a bad mood makes us more self-focused and angry at others. The effects of bad mood on helping are far less consistent than those of a good mood. Additionally, we are more likely to help when the costs are not too high. One social psychologist in the nonprofit volunteer study asked students to volunteer to collect donations for a nonprofit organization. Some were asked to collect at a desk, others to go solicit door to door. Which students do you think were the most likely to volunteer? Those who were asked for the simpler desk help, of course. And finally, we're more likely to help after observing a model engaged in helping behavior. In a classic study called the LA Driver Study, it was arranged that some Los Angeles drivers would witness another driver getting help a quarter of a mile before, and other drivers not to witness this. All then encountered a disabled car. Which do you think were the most likely to stop and help? Those who had witnessed the model, of course. Now, speaking of models, we've seen how media is a powerful model of both aggressive and pro-social behavior, right? Recall the hi-fi stereo store crime that was discussed at the beginning of our aggression lecture? It was found during police questioning that the murderers had learned their heinous form of torture from the movie Magnum Force. Remember that? In this film, a prostitute was forced to drink Drano, which caused her to die from the inside out. But we also learned about Kristen in this lecture, the little 4-year-old girl who wanted to donate all of her toys to children who were victims of the Japanese tsunami. When questioned, it was discovered that she was inspired by her favorite TV show, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. An extensive meta-analysis of research on media effects found that the effects of pro-social media are almost twice as large as those of violent media. Yet people seem far more concerned with trying to eliminate sex and violence in TV and films. It is true that one violent act can have far-reaching consequences, but this meta-analysis suggests that in addition to trying to reduce violence in media, we might really benefit by encouraging the creation of more shows with pro-social themes and models. This concludes our lecture on pro-social behavior. Our last lecture in this class will be on interpersonal attraction. Can we really use science to study things like love? Stay tuned for our last lecture to find out.